start by removing this trim that surrounds the shifter, and you always use plastic. It's no good. Okay, behind there is two connectors. One's a cigarette lighter, the other is the push button for start ignition. It's a good idea once you disconnect the push button to pop that right and plug it back in for testing. For this video, all you need, or for this disassembly process, all you need is 3 tools. You need a Torx 20, plastic tool, and a hook. Okay, so once you get that fascia out, there's 2 Torx 20s back there. Need to be removed. Next step is to get this piece off right here. It's just covering just beneath the motorized climate vents. Beneath the motorized vents. Everything's pretty easy. Okay. Behind that fascia, there are another 2 Torx 20s need to be removed. Okay, the next step is to remove this piece right here. You gotta be super careful with this. I would recommend taping. I have some experience here doing this specific dash, so I found a good easy way. You pry right here, you get your hook in there, and you pull straight out. Nice and easy, without damaging anything. Behind that piece, there's 2 more Torx 20s. After you remove these 2 screws that hold on to the climate control, this whole piece comes out as one, but it's kind of connected to the display surround here. So you're gonna, I'll take this one out first, actually. That would be best. And on this climate control, there is one probably 18, 20 pin connector back there that you want to disconnect and put that aside in a safe place. And then the fascia. One connector with that one too. Okay. The whole installation happens behind the screen, and we're going to access that right now. Again, 4 Torx T20s. All right, after the 4 screws are out, we can remove the screen. And you'll see on the back side of this radio, you'll see a GVIF, you'll see a MOST connector, you'll see the main power with CAN, and then a bunch of ports for various different things.
And those are all color-coded, correct?
They are all color-coded, yes. What you use is right here, this purple one, closest to the MOST connector. Also, the plug-and-play harness will connect right to here, which is a standard Volvo Range Rover. The kit consists of pretty much 3 things. You got the module, obviously, the plug-and-play harness. Okay, I've cloth taped this up to prepare for this installation already, and then 3 RCA's. This is a dual camera interface, so your signal for your cameras will come right in here, and it'll output to the SMB, which connects right to the screen. Very simple. So we're going to take the plug-and-play, plug it right into the main power of the screen. Okay, we can go ahead and connect the box. This is the our F-Type cam module. Okay, until it clicks. And we're going to rest it right here just for testing purposes.
Mount with tape.
Mount with tape, mount with zip ties, do something so it doesn't rattle behind the dashboard. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and grab the radio. Grab our SMB, which is provided, SMB to RCA. Plug it into the appropriate port, which is the purple one, again, right next to the MOST, closest to the MOST. If there's already one there, if there's already a port, a plug connected to the purple port, remove it and leave it off and connect ours instead. On this car, there was one.
Even though there was no front or rear camera.
Correct, even though there was no rear camera at all in this car. So, go ahead and connect our GVIF, our MOST fiber, and then the ports. Okay. Again, this is left disconnected. This used to be here.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and plug the other end of the plug-and-play harness right back into the screen. Okay. Actually, I'm going to leave this out for now. I apologize. And then put this right back up in there. Okay. Now, this is a dual camera and VIM interface. So the output from our module will connect right to the SMB, which goes straight to the screen. And then your video inputs come right back in to these RCAs, which will be labeled. This kit provides you two outputs. One's accessory, one's reverse.
Which one's which?
Both of those go 12 volt when in reverse and accessory. Output 1 and 2.
Which would be good to power either the rear or front camera or both.
Okay, so for this video, we temporarily are installing cameras, and it's not a bad install practice, anyways, to temporarily drape your front and rear camera over the car and just plug it in and test the operation and make sure everything is good. So that's exactly what we've done. We've got our rear camera here, extension right here, and then our front here, and we're going to plug that right into the inputs, the video inputs, which will be labeled. And again, they may be different colors. So our rear goes into rear, and our front goes into front. Okay. And then, if you want to power your cameras, you can use our outputs. But again, use a relay if you're going to power more than one camera with it. Our cameras are connected. We have our F-Type cam module connected. And we're going to go ahead and fire on the car for testing purposes here. Here we go. Now, if this is the first time you're connecting this module, the radio will reboot. So now let's a good indication as to how to check for the camera's functioning properly is to go into extra features here, and then you'll have this icon, which was not there before. We're emulating this right here. You go in there and you press settings, and again, our cameras are just draped; they're not installed, just for testing purposes. The settings will bring you the rear camera screen by default. Okay. To back up, you go back to, there's a clear button up in the top corner, which is there as you can see normally. So again, settings, and then clear is up in the top corner here. Okay, so we're going to go back to the factory screen. Let's go ahead and throw it in reverse, and we should get a reverse image. There's a reverse image. Put it back in park. We'll return. Now to force cameras, you can do just as I showed you. Go through the touchscreen or use the video in the wire trigger input. I believe it's input 1 or 2. It's one or the other, indicated in the manual. Again, extra features, cameras, settings. Now that we're in forced camera mode, has to happen in forced camera mode. You can switch between front and rear by touching the screen and the specific places that we mapped out. So the front, you hit the top middle, and it switches to the front. Bottom middle will switch you back to the rear again. So again, front, rear, front, rear. You can hear the relay clicking in our module. And to clear, again, back out just like normal.